The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Mahomes to MVS there for the Kansas City first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. On third down, it's Pacheco. 145 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Here's Pacheco once again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Here's Pacheco. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's Jawan Taylor, the right tackle. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and they open the lead up now to 25. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We got to get it back.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He'll fire it deep for Rager. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Cousins now from the 50. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Mike Edwards picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This has just really been a solid 2nd half from them, CD, as they add another touchdown to the lead and they start to pull away in what was once a close ball game.
Yeah, they actually put the Jets on in this one, didn't they? Put a little cherry on top with that touchdown. Now we just got to play out this final minute, and they'll get a chance to celebrate a very hard-earned victory.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. At their own 20-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter.
And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Listen to me. Leave it. Bring up 48.
Cousins. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. And we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Here's Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. 1st and 10. It's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
That is caught. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explain.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110.